Hello, Leo. Welcome to this reading. My name is Zane, and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Leo for the month of April. Now, Leo, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now, Leo, I do not offer personal readings, so if you get a message from someone, that is not me, that's someone impersonating me. Please do keep that in mind. Please do not get scammed. I also do exclusive content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. Just make sure to use the link in the description below. I only have one Instagram account, and it is linked below. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. Now, if you watch my content regularly and you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. Same is true if this is just the first time that you are watching me. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's get all the cards out and we'll get into it. All right. I think that looks just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom. You have the Page of Cups, Leo. Are you interested in a relationship at this time? Because there could be a fated connection between you and another person coming in. I will expand on this more as we go along. It's not just because of the Page of Cups, but it's some of the other indicators here as well. This could be somebody potentially coming forward to say that they're romantically interested in you. You can kind of think of this as someone asking you out on a date, because the Page of Cups represents a messenger. Potentially in the tarot, somebody who may offer you something or bring news to you in some ways. And of course, this is the Suit of Cups, so it's heavily associated with, like conversations around relationships happening. Could certainly mean that you find that someone is interested in you if you are, and it could even be a surprise. Like this could be, sometimes the Page of Cups can be like, whoa, I didn't know this person had feelings for me, or whatever the case may be. It may be just like a surprising or an unrealized or an unexpected romantic offer, right? When you get this Page of Cups. Now, if you're not here for love at all, what could be happening is some of you may consider yourself to be like a daydreamer, which I don't think is necessarily bad. I think daydreaming is bad when it prevents you from doing other things, but I think having a vision and having dreams is ultimately a very good thing. But you could also be potentially getting happy news generally in your life. You may also be somebody who's wanting right now at this time to connect with your inner child in some way. You may want to let your inner child come out to play in some way. This could be, a really great way of doing that is an adult coloring book. I think they're a very good way of doing that. Not only is it a nice form of like art therapy, but it's also, something that you can do now that you maybe did once before. And so, yeah, just something to consider. Now, right away in the middle, you have this Wheel of Fortune. So this is this is fate and destiny. Okay, when you get the Wheel of Fortune, and when you have this combined with something like the Page of Cups, it's almost like it's this energy of like bumping into somebody, and then like imagine like if you're at the grocery store and then you stumble, and then somebody like right in front of you asks you out or whatever. You strike up a conversation after doing something funny, and then you end up going on a date, right? Hopefully I communicated that right. But it's this sort of idea of fate, right? Like fate is totally out of your control. It just happens. So is luck. And sometimes we are put in these interesting situations. With the Page of Cups, I'm kind of getting that energy like around you maybe just meeting somebody randomly in this month. But the Wheel of Fortune is like this idea, if it's not love, it's this idea of your luck changing. It does bring a change undeniably, and it's by default or typically a pretty good change. And it says that, your destiny potentially has arrived. The wheel has potentially spun. The wheel of your destiny has potentially spun in your direction. So it's a very nice card. Now, in the past, you have the King of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the World. So it's interesting. Number 9, the Hermit, next to number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. Situations progressing, right? Progressing in your life. The Hermit came out reversed. I do not read reversals. But, it's interesting here. I do wonder if some of you are right now maybe having a challenge listening to yourself. the Hermit talks about introspection, finding the answers within you. But it's almost like when you get it reversed, it can represent that maybe side of yourself being blocked. Or it could also say, this could also be a Virgo, just for what it's worth, but it could also say that maybe you have a proclivity to try to get like all of the knowledge. Like the Hermit is in pursuit of knowledge, but I wonder if some of you are like addicted to like trying to have every single little fact before you move. And sometimes you can't have all the facts. And that's the thing about the Wheel of Fortune, which the Hermit learns that not everything is found within a textbook. And guess what? You can't find destiny, fate, and luck in a textbook. Fate and luck, literally, maybe destiny, but literally, fate and luck cannot be read, right? Fate and luck just happen. You might find your destiny in a textbook, but definitely not fate and luck, right? And so I do wonder if some of you need to maybe let go a little bit here. You have this King of Pentacles, which is somebody who is extremely focused on building their wealth, building their empire, and achieving a high status in their career. Very nice card if you're looking for financial situations. And some of you this fated connection might be with an earth sign, with the King of Pentacles, the Hermit being the Virgo, the Ace of Pentacles here in the future. You also here have this World card, which is the completion of a cycle. It's also Saturn energy. It says that Saturn rewards you for doing the hard work. But there's also a level of certainty with the World. And it's like when you reach the World, you can be certain that you have closed out a chapter because you have gone through the entire journey of the major arcana, starting from the Fool all the way now to standing at the top of the World here. And so there's a level of, there's this idea of like, we're not in Kansas anymore. When you get to the World, you've reached the end zone, right? You've gotten there. And it is a big win, but it's also a big ending of a chapter and the big start of a new one. And so there's like I keep saying big, but there's like a big energy here of something changing in your life. I think it's going to be for the better. Now, in the middle of the month, you have the Nine of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Cups. So this Nine of Swords is potentially somebody who is trapped in fear. Right now, they're having a nightmare in this card. This is a major energy of stress and anxiety in the tarot. In fact, they are so stressed that they think that these swords are going to come down and hit them, but they don't actually do. Now, what's interesting about stress is that we literally cannot survive without stress. And so remember that there are multiple types of stress. There's good stress, there's bad stress. And the reality is that we have to deal with stress in this lifetime. Like I said, you literally cannot function without the element of stress. It's kind of interesting. So what you can do is you can add tools to your toolkit in order to help you work through stress, right? And also, to eliminate the negative stress, what you can do is start checking things off your list, right? Negative stress may happen when you pile a bunch of things on your to-do list and you avoid doing them, which might actually happen with the Page of Cups. They may spend more time in their dreams than actually doing, in which case it's a little bit of a challenge. But some of you here, that I just want to know a long thing about stress, but basically some of you here with this Queen of Cups, this is somebody who might be a therapist in the tarot. This could be a traditional therapist. Some of you may be working with a mental health professional or something along those lines when you have this Queen of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Nine of Swords. They may be a way shower for you. They may help you see something in a new way. Queen of Cups might also tell you to have compassion for yourself and do something to regulate your energy, which is exactly what I was talking about when I said having a tool or having tools in place to help work through stress. You can just look that up for yourself after this reading. If you resonate with that, tools to mitigate stress or whatever the case may be, go and Google and search that. So some of you may be dealing with that, but I actually think it's eustress, which is EU stress, which is good stress. I think you have a lot of good things on your plate and you're just trying to figure out how to manage the good stress in your life. Now, towards the end of the month, you have the King of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Moon. So notice how we have these kings in the corner, which is very interesting. You may literally have someone in your corner that can help you here, especially you also have this Queen. And remember, you can take on the aspects of any of these cards. It doesn't matter what gender you are. But the King of Cups here, this person is sitting in water And you also do have counterparts here with the King and the Queen of Cups, now that I think about it. But this King of Cups person is very good at handling emotional situations. You have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a financial new beginning, a new start in your life of that may come with like some new money, or it may be something like getting into a school, getting a mortgage application, maybe getting a car, anything to do with the material side of life. But it could also just generally represent a new beginning. And you have the Moon, which says work through subconscious fear to the best of your ability. Because the Moon is in the subconscious row. The row is the subconscious. The lower row is the subconscious, but the Moon in and of itself can talk about fears at the subconscious level. So some of you just dealing with, I think, life issues right now, but I actually don't get a negative energy. I think some of you are just, I think there's some good and some challenging here. And this is a really interesting reading. And I love this row with the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ace of Pentacles for you, because that seems like major success aligning. So you have Water Guardian, connect with your emotions, as well as High Priestess, harness mystic power. Something around emotions here with the Water Guardian, the King and the Queen of Cups, the Moon, the Nine of Swords, for sure, pretty heavy in this reading. You have Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace, as well as High Priest, intend and create. So the High Priest is like the Magician in this Oracle deck, in that right now you can manifest an outcome in your life for yourself. You have all the tools you need. Remember, the Hermit came out reversed. The Hermit realizes that they have all the tools that they need. And so for some of you, I do wonder if like there's something around your inner world here that is at play that some of you are maybe looking at. Let's see what else we have. So you have, oh, interesting. Communicate clearly and no. Some of you are rejecting somebody. Some of you may be rejecting somebody, but also there may be another person here. You have, you're ready, get more information. Let's see what the get more information card is. Peaceful resolution. So I do wonder if some of you are concerned about saying no to somebody. If you feel like you need to say no to somebody, this is giving you the green light to do that. I can't tell you what to do, but the cards are saying, no, it's okay for you to do that. You're ready. And I do actually feel like for some of you, there's maybe like one person here who's interested, but there's also maybe, if you're here for love, I think there's like one person interested, but I also think that there is like also a counterpart, someone else who's a counterpart at play with the King and the Queen of Cups, but also the King of Pentacles and the Hermit. So it's like, I think you have a lot of different, like there are multiple hands in the cookie jar or whatever the case may be. And so let's see what else we have here. You have the Hanged Man, you have the Seven of Swords, and the Five of Cups. All right, so the Hanged Man, something's got to give when you get the Hanged Man. It's time to let go. Okay, the Hanged Man's resisting. They are suspended in air. They are not moving forward. And, you know, with this Page of Cups, you know, this person, if you take a look at the halo on their, around their, behind their head there, they are sort of trying to attain enlightenment, or they are like potentially even developing their psychic energy, or they are potentially meditating, but at a certain point they also have to move into action. And so, you know, you may have this energy of dreaming with the Hanged Man and the Page of Cups, but at the same time, eventually you got to cut this cable here and start free falling. The Seven of Swords says create a plan of action. Okay, do not fool yourself with you, because I just keep going back to this Hermit reversed. I don't know why, and I almost never read reversals, but I felt like reading it that way. So there's something around you needing to have a strategy. I think you've gathered all the facts, Leo. I think you've gathered all the facts, and it may be time for you to act at some point here. You have the World and the Five of Cups. It's almost like there's something ending, and it's bittersweet for you. You have the Four of Wands, the Chariot, and the Four of Swords. So we have these two fours here coming in. That's all about stability, structure. There is something around mental health, okay? And there's something around you, I think, creating a plan for yourself to deal with something. The Four of Swords can represent meditation as well. I almost never bring in this message of meditation or enlightenment here with the Hanged Man. I almost never bring that in. But now with this Four of Swords, there is something coming in here, especially as it's being clarified with the Queen of Cups, which I oftentimes associated with like holistic health, doing something alternative such as Reiki, Qigong, yoga, Tai Chi, or even just generally doing mental health therapy. And so you have this interesting situation here for yourself coming forward. Again, I'm not trying to come at you. I actually think some of you are just, it's a busy time in your life of like things changing, things completing, and I do feel like you have resources in your corner to help you with this. I think it's just a matter, do you want to do it? And only you can decide that. You have the Chariot here as well with the Wheel of Fortune. That's big victory, overcoming obstacles. And it says that through self-discipline, you will achieve a major victory in your life. You will move forward. The Chariot is moving forward on their chariot. You see the star pattern on the canopy above. That indicates the universe. As it is done in the universe, it is done down here. As above, so below. You also have this Four of Wands, which is all about stability. It's all about foundations and achievements, a new start in your life, but it's a major card of marriage. And so you have that with the Nine of Swords. I wonder if some of you are stressing about like finding a marriage partner or something going on with this counterpart. So you have the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Sun. So you have the Sun and the Moon here clarifying. So the Moon, the Sun, isn't that interesting? Those cards, once again, they come one after the other. So you have this progression of events. You had the Hermit next to the Wheel of Fortune, 9 into 10. Now you have the Moon with the Sun, 18 into 19. Situation's progressing. The Sun is the best card to get in the tarot. This is a card that indicates a total moment of happiness for you. And this can also represent truth in your life coming forward, especially as you have this Eight of Wands, which is about communication coming in a distance, but it's communication that leads to a good news or a good outcome. And you have that with the Ace of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles indicates reward and recognition for some sort of quality job that you've done in your workplace. It can represent your teammates, your team environment, your colleagues, anything like that. It can also represent generally working together with others. But now you have this Knight of Pentacles here, which this Knight here is coming forward to offer you something, okay? Offer you a pentacle. And so this can represent a financial event arriving. So you do have that sort of narrative stacking up here, especially particularly towards the end of the month or towards the middle to the end with the Wheel of Fortune, the Chariot, the Sun, Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, now this Knight of Pentacles here. That situation's stacking up for you. So I do wonder if some of you are like looking to make some improvements in your financial standing in some way. Looks pretty good for that. There may be a little bit of luck mixed in with, just the steps that you've taken, the hard work that you've taken. And you know what? Everybody gets a little lucky sometimes in life, right? You have the Despair card, Journey, Main Female, Thoughts, Thief, and Wealthy Man. Some of you, wealthy partnership is coming to mind because you had that King of Pentacles, you have the King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Wealthy Man, Main Female. So, something like that could certainly be coming in here. You have Journey, Despair, Thoughts, and Thief. There is something around your thoughts, okay, that I feel like are maybe robbing you of some sort of really perfect alignment, some sort of perfect alignment that's happening here in your life. And really embracing the journey at this time. You have this message of concern on the bottom. I do see messages coming in. I feel like they're pretty good, although they may... This may be the part of the reading where you say, okay, I'm going to research stress, like tools to mitigate stress or tools to handle stress or whatever the case may be. Because again, I think there's a message coming in. I don't think it's bad, but I think you're dealing with a good stress right now. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading.